our spotlight session for this Monday. We are on a series right now called Reframing Labels. So, kind of taking a look at labels that maybe we are familiar with, and we're wanting to reframe them a bit so that we can feel a little bit better about ourselves and about a situation. And sometimes that's all it takes is just a little reframe for us to go from feeling either guilty or hurt or a little out of sorts to feeling a little bit more motivated, calm, and more sure, having more clarity in, in what we're doing and why we're doing it and how we're doing it. Feeling super comfortable on that. And we're going to be talking about a label that often comes up when we start challenging certain beliefs, like the belief that we have to be always on, or maybe that habit that we have of taking on things that are really other people's responsibility, or maybe taking on the emotions of those other people, focusing on kind of their projects or their expectations. And we've been doing it for years. And we are noticing that all of a sudden, some of that stuff that we used to agree to or that we used to allow to happen is just starting to feel really heavy and uncomfortable. And sometimes I feel like it's because we have this fear of letting people down. We maybe feel like we're even letting ourselves down when we want to change things that we've been doing for a really long time. Because, you've really kind of built that identity of who you were and who you are by being the person who always gets everything done or always figures things out for yourself and for other people. But lately, you're just sensing that all of that doing that you've been doing doesn't matter as much as just being or being in a position where you are free to make a different choice, to choose something that is going to work better for you moving forward. And you're beginning to realize that being present, caring about other people, doesn't mean that you always have to be performing in a certain way, the way they think you should perform, the way you've always performed, the way everybody else in your field performs. It's okay to be different. But sometimes when others see you moving in the direction of doing things a little bit differently, they might see it as you being uncooperative, maybe. Um, and they see that you're not responding the way they are used to you responding in certain situations. And you might know what I mean. Maybe you have felt it. Maybe you have heard people say things about you or about a situation. And when it gets back to you, it can be uncomfortable. I know that I've had that situation, and I can remember a time when people started saying that I wasn't a team player anymore and that I wasn't all in like I used to be. And, putting the blame on me, like I wasn't fully invested in my job anymore or in this family situation anymore. And, I'm the one that's always been dependable and been there for other people. But when they looked at it and I was shifting a little bit, it didn't mean that I wasn't being dependable anymore, but that's the way they saw it. They see it from their perspective and they notice that what I'm doing no longer aligns with what their expectations for me have been. And that awareness looks very different from the outside. sometimes. People don't understand what's going on inside, behind those decisions, or taking that opportunity to think before you say yes, or to formulate a better response under some very familiar situations that may come up often, either in your family or at work or in relationships. And so when I started feeling that shift, the need to start reframing things in my life, I started asking myself different questions. So instead of asking or telling myself this is what everybody expects, I started asking questions about what are my priorities now? And what's my purpose for doing or saying what I want, what I feel like I really need to say now? And where was my energy going? Like, why was I feeling so depleted or disillusioned when I never used to? And I began saying no to things that I used to, it used to be a quick yes, or I would just say yes or do what they needed me to do or wanted me to do because I was feeling guilty for not doing it or for setting some boundaries. And suddenly, to other people, it looked like I was pushing against the current, like I wasn't a team player anymore, whether it's in your family, at work, in your business. It can look different to people on the outside who don't have the whole picture. And but what I've learned over time is that when you begin honoring your inner clarity, it is going to make other people uncomfortable. Now, some people in your circle of influence are going to be happy. They're going to be proud of you for finally standing your ground. But other people, it might make them feel uncomfortable, especially when they are so used to you being the old version of you, the old you who used to say yes to all their requests and you tried to make it work or whatever it might be. There's a lot of different scenarios where you might be in a position where you are going to start responding and acting a bit differently. And it's okay. You don't have to feel guilty for what other people might be expecting from you. And you certainly need to feel more compassionate for yourself because you're kind of birthing a new version of you that is more sustainable and more true to who you are right now. So the truth is, on the surface, it might look like you're being uncooperative or you're not invested the way you used to be. It might look like you're being resistant or contrary, or some people want to say you don't care anymore. But underneath, what's really happening is some courage, some personal courage to question what's no longer working for you. That courage to speak up in situations that you feel in your heart are absolutely true. And the courage to stand still when everyone else around you is rushing and going in all different directions, like we used to say, like a chicken with their head cut off, and you are the one that's coming in there with that calm, centered spirit. This is what awareness looks like in motion. Awareness, being more aware and not just reacting or working on autopilot. It's not rebellion, it's realignment. Although sometimes, I'll tell you, people do see it as a little bit of rebellion. So, as we finish this little chat here on reframing what it looks like to be uncooperative in other people's eyes, have you ever felt or even maybe been called uncooperative when you were really being courageous? And I want you to think of one of those moments that maybe stood out to you when you stood up for what you felt was really true and it wasn't necessarily popular. So if something comes to mind, drop a word or phrase in the chat if you want to, or just write it down on your journal so that you can come back to it and just kind of think about it and look at it from a different lens today. When someone labels you as uncooperative or you don't care anymore or you're not invested anymore, pause and ask yourself, what value am I protecting right now? Because when you are feeling those nudges that something just isn't right, it's a value that you hold near and dear that you need to protect. And that simple question can really transform frustration and guilt and feeling hurt into clarity because you have a clear picture of where you're coming from and why you're doing that. And it reminds you that standing in your truth doesn't make you difficult, it makes you deliberate. So these spotlight sessions are here just as short reflections, just a few minutes. But if you want to put this awareness into practice, I'd like to invite you to join me for our next Clarity Challenge. It's a 90-minute guided reset session that we get together on Zoom and we work on utilizing the RISE framework. We put in place kind of a 7-day little plan that you can follow to help you put some of these strategies in practice and learn that where clarity and courage meet, that's when you're going to be feeling most you and most comfortable. And it's often just one small doable action at a time that is going to help you to do that. These clarity sessions that I'm having, the clarity challenges, they're on a Tuesday. The next one is coming up, I believe, November 4th. So just remember that being called uncooperative doesn't mean that you're the one that's off track. Sometimes it's just a sign of the courage that has found its voice. So thank you for joining me, and we will see you on the next Spotlight session, or maybe even at an upcoming Clarity Challenge. So have a good day. Bye.